Well, hello there and welcome to another tutorial. So in this one, we're gonna cover some basic light setup. So in here, as you see, I have no lights. I want some lights to be in place. And yeah, how to do that is the question. You can do it multiple ways. The first way is pretty simple. I have a duplicate here of my lights and I have connected the paths like this just so it creates a vertex in the middle, so I can easily snap my lights to the middle of the thing. So in here I can enable wireframe, and then I have my cabin proxy. The proxy is basically the shell duplicated and scaled up a little bit. Your proxy doesn't have to be the whole shell like I have. You can have your shell as a simple plane that's just slightly below the floor, or you can have your shell like this. Hold on. Snapping. Like that. Or you can have your proxy like this underneath your shell. There are many uses why you would want to do that. Sometimes you don't even need a proxy. I rather use a whole cabin proxy just so I'm 100% sure. It's much cleaner, it's much better in general. So yeah, let's dive straight to it. So first things first, to make a light, I'm going to be creating spotlights for these top ones. So I'm gonna hop in here, change it to spot, in drawable Sollumz tools, in lights. I forgot to enable screencast keys. So here I change it to spot. I have my proxy collection selected and I'm going to create light in there, and it gives me an error. Why? Oh, it's trying to create a random ass preset. I see. So don't forget to select your preset when you're creating the light. I'm gonna just have it on default for now. So now we have light created, and in here you're probably gonna have this tab right here. You do not want to touch this tab, never. You close it, you grab your Sollumz, you drag it on top, and you work in here. Everything you do in here has effect on the game. Everything you do somewhere else does not have any effect on the game. So be wary, always work in Sollumz tabs, nowhere else. So we have spawned a light. I'm going to select the first preset. Everybody should have these presets by default. So the first spot wall light 1 preset, and I'm going to apply preset to select it. Then with snapping enabled, oh, that was the wrong button. With snapping enabled, I'm going to snap it right here, where I know that there is a vertex because I created it there. Okay, so now we have our first light. I'm going to enable the rooms like this, disable the wireframe, and now we can see that light is lighting. Now from here we can adjust the fall off, which is this line. I always put the fall off just so it's slightly below the floor. Fall off exponent, the bigger it is, the dimmer the light is, the smaller it is, the sharper the light becomes. So I'm going to set this to like 3, intensity to 2000, cone 180. Cone is this thing. this big circle. If I start changing, you see that it's changing, and if we look inside, you can see because it's spotlight, it's creating a spot of a light. I want 180, so I'm gonna leave it at 180. This I can change to 1. You see, it's basically still the same. If I change to 0, it gets immensely brighter. So set it to 0.5. So the light is like slightly bleeding away. So that's for ceiling. Be careful not to make it too intense or too bright, because it can and will lag your game. Now about light props such as this one. So let's create, I'm going to hide this light and let's create another one. So I want to make a capsule first. So let's spawn a capsule. Now you see these lines, you can resize the capsule easily with them. And I'm going to snap, wrong button again, snap the capsule in the middle of this thing. If you can't see, again, here you can enable the wireframe, so you can see you snapped it in the middle. Okay, let's enable props, so I can see where I'm putting it. So if I do it like this, somewhat, it's being nice and bright. Okay. Let's disable this thing. Yes. And fall off. Fall off exponent. $15 maybe. No, that's 150. I want 15. Okay. And with our main spotlight, it's slightly brighter. So now for this one, I want to create a spotlight again. Snap it where it belongs. Let's check. Yes, it's in the middle. Good. And now let's enable the prop. So for this one, I want to change the cone angle. I'm going to move it a slightly bit up. So I want to be changing the cone angle. So it's shining like this through the bottom, right? So I'm going to do it like that. Change this to 500 watts. Let's enable all of these and turn on this one. Okay. 4 meters. Now Shift D, rotate over X 180 degrees, and move it down. Now you see I need to readjust the cone for this. Okay, but this is too bright, so let's scale up the exponent to 8 meters. 12. Okay, and for this one, 6. Right. So now it looks fairly realistic. With the capsule turned on, you can't really see it. So let's readjust the capsule. Let's set this also to 500. It's too low, I reckon. 1000. Yep, much better. Now the capsule is there just to illuminate the prop, nothing else. It's not supposed to do anything extra. It's here just to illuminate the prop. Okay, so that's our main spotlight and these. So this is how I would do lights for this prop. Now let's hop on to the next one, which would be something like this laptop, for example. So let's spawn a point light. I want to illuminate the keyboard a little bit, so let's create a point light. Let's snap it right here. Now I'm going to press G and Shift Z to move just over X and Y axis, slap it in the middle, move it a little bit up, change intensity to 30 watts. Fall of exponent, let's make it brighter, change the color to green. Okay. Fall off, let's set to 10 for now. If I change this to 5 watts, it's illuminated like this, but I bet it's too much. Okay, that looks fairly good. You essentially want to spend as much time with lights as possible, especially if you go for realism. Right now, I'm just quickly showing you how to do the thing. So next one will be spotlight. Create. Let's see if I can manage. Yes, like this. Now select it. Always, if it's orange, it's not really selected. Always make sure that it's yellow, so it's actually selected. I'm going to rotate, move, rotate. Yep, that's great. Now some color that's in between, which would be some pinkish purple. Yeah, something like that. Instead of 4000, let's set it to 500. About the cone, so of course I don't need a full cone. Yeah, let's do it like 120. This set to 1. And Fall of exponent, let's set to 10. Now do keep in mind, the way you see it in here, that's not actually how it's going to look in game, and you may need to go through more adjustments than just slapping the lights on here, exporting GG easy. So do keep that in mind. Okay, so that's for our laptop. Now, let's go over flags real quick. So, let's start with the laptop now. So this is just to illuminate the keyboard and whatnot. Volume intensity, I always set to 0 because I hate volume intensity. Corona as well. Now, we don't want to cast shadows. We just want not in reflection. And no specular. For this one, we can cast shadows, all time flags. I forgot the time flags. Yes, so for both of these, time flags turned on. Now for this one, also Corona 0, volume intensity and everything at 0. Now for this one, volume 0, corona 0, not in reflection, don't light alpha, no specular. For this one, technically we could leave the volume in here just so it's casting something, but I'm gonna disable it anyways. Corona, disable, cast shadows, time flags all, this also time flags all, bang, 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 for all of these, right? So that will be a prop light. These two spotlights cast shadows because they're the main lights. This is just to illuminate the prop. And that's all. And now for the main light. So which one is the main light? This one. So now for this one, it's gonna get a tiny bit trickier. So again, all flags, cast shadows, corona 0, volume 0. And now in here, you can see that the ceiling is not really lit up, that it's pretty dim. So what you want to do, you want to duplicate your light, rotate over X or Y 180 degrees, and then move it down so it's above your floor, like that. Now for this one, set the intensity to 500 maybe, and that's still too much. Let's adjust fall of exponent to be 10 meters. Yeah, and now you see it's not as dark as it was before. Yeah, all of these are the same. Now, disable shadow casting, enable not in reflection, not light alpha, and no specular. All time flags again. And this is what's just illuminating the ceiling. This is just one way of doing it. I do that for most rooms except massive rooms like a big warehouse. For that one, you need to put multiple lights, preferably a point light in the center, so the point light is actually lighting up the area. But your main light is just to cast shadows. It's not to actually, you know, light up the whole room. So you don't really have to make like intensity 16,000, because literally flashbang. You will be playing with the intensity anyways eventually, but let's leave it like this for now. So that's this one and this one. So I'm going to duplicate both of these. Duplicate. I'm gonna hide these two. Enable snapping. Right. And now in this room, I am going to show you what the volume is. So if you look, I have made this thing pink. So we changed the color to pink, or it's pinkish purple or something like that. Okay. Copy this one. Paste it here, so it's both the same. And now in here, let's set the volume intensity and everything to 1, just so you can see what the volume does. Set volume to the thing. still cast shadows, everything as it was before, except enable draw volume. For this bottom one, let's enable the draw volume too, just so it draws the volume evenly from top to bottom. Okay, draw volume, time flags the same. Okie dokie. So this way we created a thing in here. So that will be for drawing volume and all that sort of stuff. So now let's roll back to standard stuff. And props too. Okay, so now you have another thing. Sometimes your light starts to bleed through your model. So you want to avoid that. I'm going to move this slightly bit down. I cannot really see anything, but yeah, it's slightly bit below the light. And in here, let's enable culling plane. It's this thing. So let's zero the thing. If you zero it, it snaps to the bottom. One, and 1, no, 0, no, -1. Yeah, this is annoying. Offset. Okay, it needs to be rotated the other way around, so yeah, I need to rotate the thing. -1. Okay, -1 and -1. No. -1 on here. Yes. It also has, again, this cross in the middle, which you can then grab and drag up and down, just so it's easier to move. And you want the culling plane to be like, hold on, let me enable the shell. To be somewhat in line with the shell, right? You don't want it below, like too deep or too far away. So I'm gonna leave the culling plane right here. So we enabled culling plane. And in here, where is the flag? I don't see the flag. Oh yeah, enable culling plane. It's automatically enabled. Good. Yeah, so do make sure if you use culling plane you have the flag enabled. Otherwise it's not gonna load in. And this is what's gonna be blocking light from going the other direction. And I would do that normally for this one as well, just so it's not going through the bottom, and so on and so on. So I'm going to skip till it's all finished. I'm gonna make a cut here because this is gonna take me a while. I did try to record it before, but it was almost 2-hour tutorial, so I won't be bothering you with me lining everything light up. And we skip all the way to the end where I have it all prepared, so you can see how it should somewhat look when you're finished.
Approximately 10 hours later.
Okay, so here we are with the light setup. So I'm going to hide all of this stuff and the cabin proxy too. So here you can see all the lights are set. All of them are where they're supposed to be, except this one, I reckon. Why is this off center? Don't know. Not bad. Okay, so all of them are like this. I was tweaking all them things, like the intensity and whatnot, so it's actually nice and tidy. So small, main, limbo, all that stuff. Disable extras. So it looks something like this. I did change it from white to yellow just so there is actually some difference in between this and this. This remains pink. But yeah, this is pretty much a-okay. I would maybe need one small change to this one. Mm, 100 watts. 0.5. No. 1. No. I'm gonna leave. No, I'm gonna leave it as is. It's gonna look fairly decent. This is lit up more because of this. I did add here a point light. This point light, if I hide it, you see this is what the capsule does in here. It's actually gonna be from top to bottom lit up, not just this small area. It's just Blender being Blender. But I wanted a little bit more light coming from the lamp, so I added a point light right here, just so there's more light coming from that area. Rather than making that more intense, I added one more light that's less intense, so 1500 watts, but it lights up the area pretty good. And same I did for the other side. And same thing I did in here in this corner, because it was not really lit up. It was kind of dark. I didn't like it. So I just added a light in here. You can play with it as much as you want. It is important that you do still follow the general rule of thumb where if you need to increase the intensity to insane numbers, just put two lights with lower intensity to light up the area rather than having one on insanely stupid brightness. Like on your computer it may be fine, but then some random Andy with a lower spec computer joins your server and he's gonna suffer. So yeah, that's light in general. So now we have all the lights right here. I'm going to hide all the rooms, unhide cabin proxy. So this is the cabin proxy model. Now with the proxy model, we want to select the proxy empty, go into drawables and create a drawable. Rename the drawable to lights. It is case sensitive. If it says .001, 002, 003, it's okay, it's just suffix. That's gonna be removed when you export it. But the most important thing is to have capital L and call it lights. And you can select all of your lights, grab them, shift, left alt, place them on your lights empty. Also, do always make sure before you start doing anything that your transforms are actually at 0, otherwise your lights may be completely misplaced. So yeah, that's our cabin proxy. I do have the ML already with the Y type and everything, cabin proxy in it as well. So I'm just gonna go ahead and export. Where should I export it? Here? Yes, no, yes, maybe. I'll just export it in there. Okay. Now, where is the folder? Where is the folder? So much stuff in here, so much stuff. Oh, folder is all the way here. Why? I do not know. Now we have cabin proxy right here. I'm gonna go ahead into my resources. I think I put it into hotel. Drag and drop cabin proxy. That's right here. We can check that the lights are actually lighting, that the pink one is pink. Okie dokie. So that's why I also use full proxy, just so I can actually see if I have the lights in correct place. That's why I don't use just a floor plane or just a small plane in the middle to parent the lights into. That's why I use a full proxy, just so I can preview it like this without being worried too much that it's not gonna work. But yeah, that's the proxy. And yeah, we can test the server. So I'm gonna launch it and we'll be back when I'm in game.
A few minutes later.
Right, now we're in game. Now I know I placed it in here. It's actually right here. But again, I do not ever teleport onto the things. I always grab a car and drive there to give the game time to load. I don't have to do it right now because it's gonna be loading just the light setup, because the thing was put in there before. But it's better to just drive there to give the game time to load in, basically. And most of the time it doesn't even take that much time for you to drive somewhere, because like you should at this point know the city pretty well. Ouch. Okay, now here I'm gonna slow down a bit. Because the thing is down there. Please don't explode. Thank you. And the thing is right here. You saw in bottom right, it was downloading assets. It was 0 megabytes. So this is horrible. So yeah, but sometimes it starts to download the whole thing, and if you get there too fast, it can crash your game. So here we are. Knock, knock. The pink is not that intense as I hoped for, so you don't see the draw volume thingy. Let's change the time of day to night, and you see this thing is casting just a little bit because of the point light right there. It's actually being lit up pretty nicely. This, what I was worried about, is basically non-existent. Now laptop thing could also be a little bit more intense because it doesn't really do anything. And this is whatever. Ah, it does look kind of pink, I reckon. Okay. So that's that. Let's change back to morning. Okie dokie. So that's one thing covered. Now, what I don't know, if I should do like tutorials for props, because I haven't seen many people use this sort of stuff. Because I reckon nobody ever did a tutorial on how to make such a thing. So that's that. The positive thing about this is if you break it, and if I actually can get in. Hello? Hello? Stop holding the fucking gun! Okay, I guess I can't do it through here, so let's try this way. I know you can jump through there, it's just it doesn't work for some reason now. But my space is working. Anyways, yeah, breakable props such as this glass. This laptop is a standard GTA prop. Or this thingy. Can I jump through? Yes, now I can jump through. So yeah, it's like good thing for robberies and stuff. And if you're worried about the lights, not lights, the glass being the way it is, then no need to worry about anything, because it respawns when you get out of the area. So yeah, that's about lights. I'm not sure if you would want to see how to do this sort of stuff. If yes, let me know in the comments. If no, I'm gonna scrap it. And for the next tutorial, I'll probably do some short tutorial on how to actually do collision, because I see too many people doing collision wrong. Way too many people doing collision wrong, and it bothers me a lot. Because they are making the collision unoptimized and ugly. Oh yeah, one more thing. I'll be doing a clothing pack with physics, just a small pack from GTA clothes to have them have cloth physics. It's gonna be on my Discord, just specifically for Discord members, so if you wanna grab them clothes when they're ready, make sure you're there just so you can download it. It's gonna be for free because it's just a GTA asset, so that's that. So yeah, to wrap it up, we finished our lights tutorial. Now you know how to create some basic light setup. You can always grab a GTA MLO and check how Rockstar did it to replicate it on your MLO, so you don't have to be creating 100% custom light setup all the time. As far as the lights go, if you have some light preset that you like, here you can click on plus and save a preset, and then when you click it, apply preset to select it. So if I select all of these like that and apply preset to select it, you see everything changed because this light preset applied to all of the lights that I selected. And yeah, I hope it all makes sense. I tried to be as brief with it as possible, not to give out too much overwhelming information. but I do reckon that a lot of people are still gonna ask questions. So again, if you have some questions about lights, feel free to join the Discord and ask there for help. Either me or someone else will try to assist you. Just do make sure you're asking actual question, not a question that I answered in here in the video, because then it just means you didn't watch the video. But yeah, in general, if you need help, join there. Help will be provided within our knowledge. Let me know in the comments if you want the stratifiable glass tutorial and such things. And the next tutorial will be on how to properly create collisions for your props. Right, so that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye!